of the Dwumfour's first administration. And we are going to build on the legacy and take GJE to another level.
So what you mentioned track records. What would you say are your biggest achievements in the first administration that you hope to build on as you get ready to go into the second term?
A number of them. Press freedom is key. Under Dwumfour, we've worked so hard to create what we call a freer media environment, where everybody knows, anyone who knows President Dwumfour will tell you that an attack on any journalist is an attack on me. An attack on the media is an attack on me. Even though it's an attack on our democracy, I take it as a personal project. When it comes to media attack, you can't dare. Under President Dwumfour, you have seen the GJA, the one time or the one's toothless association, which people thought couldn't biting so hard that even politicians had their own share of the bite. You understand? So this is under President Dwumfour. It never happened under anybody. Since coming up, or maybe since we started the journalism business, where and when did you hear that DJ has even blacklisted or blackout or whatever? But it has happened for the first time under President Dwumfour. President Dwumfour. The defense for press freedom. And another thing under this same General Support Fund was also to offer support, cushion retirees who are faced with some financial difficulties. We have been supporting them. And I can tell you, during my campaign, do you know that I had almost 50 retirees in my campaign team? 50 retirees. This will tell you the welfare project under President Dwumfour.
There were retirees on your opponent's campaign team as well.
Oh, man, how many did you count? Mention. Since we are talking for you, can you mention the number of retirees?
But on what basis would you say that we are speaking? We are asking questions.
No,
People want to get to know you. And those who perhaps were not on the electoral college, persons who don't vote as GJA members, want to understand the matter.
We are engaging. Remember, we are journalists.
So then let me ask as a journalist, and
but you
set me out as a spokesperson for another.
Of course, okay.
Another.
So how many did you? I was asking you.
I saw a number of them were here. GBC. Everybody comes here to get the votes, and so if GBC delivers the numbers for you, then you win it. So I saw some on his campaign trail. Because I don't want to mention names, perhaps they would rather not become part.
These are very mature, accomplished, and should I say, deep thinkers who understand the politics, the GGA politicking. People who have contributed their own quota to the association. You understand? So for me, I just want you to understand the retirees and all that. Now, just from there, we have seen leadership that has gone the extra mile in speaking truth to power. One thing that we lack, we got to a point in this country when voices of conscience have gone dead, have gone silent. We got to a point in this country where we needed people to speak through, and no one was there.
Just to update the public, in 2022, we dropped to 62nd on the World Press Freedom Index, Reporters Without Borders. In 2023, we still remained at 62nd position. In 2024, we moved up to 50th, but it's still 180 countries. So we've moved up about 12 spaces in the past year until now. And then perhaps we'll see how that goes.
No, you see, so the trend, we see the trend. When we took over, it means that attack on the media was on the rise. Not only that, we also realized that people were toying with press freedom. Press freedom has come under siege. Again, there is an issue, an economic indices, which was also added to the World Press Freedom Index, which was really affecting us. Now, Dwumfour's administration within a year was freedom. was really, really bold enough, loud enough, and was seen by the public because we did not sit in our offices. We did not end at issuing statements and holding press conferences. We walked the talk. We blacklisted. We came out. We first time in the history we have arrested a suspect involving in attack on a journalist who was been arraigned before court and has been remanded from 1949 to date. You can find out, you can do a research. I've been the president, I've been part of the GJ leadership for 8 years, and I can tell you that there's none like that for the first time. We are winning the fight for press freedom. We are cruising to victory. A time I want to create the environment, I want to create a media environment where the media will go about their duties, their constitutional mandate without fear or favor. They will go about it with their chest out because they know that there is a system, there is a leader, there is somebody, a pillar who will come to their aid when they come. We have self-censorship is really, should I say, gradually leaving the system. We want to make sure that we don't even hear the name self-censorship because the media will not be under anybody's influence. So this is the kind of environment we want to create. Again, the successful organization of the World Press Freedom Day has given Ghana another enhanced image in the international media landscape. When it comes to the international media landscape, Ghana is very much respected. In fact, we have lifted our image in such a way that today we have made Ghana GJA point where as I speak to you now, we are preparing to host 2 international events this year and next year. I'm telling you, this is something that has not happened before because GJA duly executed its mandate in ensuring a successful organization of the Third African Media Convention. The bar, which you see, we're able to lift in fact, the standard we set even made Morocco running away because they couldn't meet it. Morocco was supposed to have hosted the Fourth African Media Convention. And as we speak now, 2 weeks to the date, they have to back out because they felt that the preparation wasn't up there. This is the standard set by Ghana. And again, in all this, we've been able to create a vibrant, proactive media environment. The GJ has become so proactive, so vibrant, so appealing, so attractive. It is obvious and evident for all of us to see that Dwumfour has made the GJA attractive. Dwumfour has made the GJA so vibrant. And now the GJA has become so visible that for the first time we have recorded over 80% voter turnout, something that has not happened in the history of GJA elections.
Okay, so democracy within the GJA is, some have said, improving.
Of course.
And all hands are on deck. And the idea is just like in the national election.
Yes.
There are varying opinions. But once the die is cast and a winner is declared, everybody rallies around the elected nominee or the elected candidate and gets the work done. Yes. On that basis, we have someone on the phone line who would like to speak to you. Good morning to you. Welcome to GTV Breakfast, and thank you for joining us on this conversation. Introduce yourself, first of all, to Mr. President and follow it up with your message. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. Tell us who you are and your message to Mr. President here.
Albert, my name is Charles Mauti.
We were wonderfully well, and I hope you are also doing well.
I'm doing very well too.
Yes. And let me comment, Charles. In fact, Charles, before you go, right about 30 minutes after collation, even before declaration, I got a call from my brother. For me, I think that was very mature. That was very, very the wise thing to do. In fact, he called me. I didn't have his number. I picked, thought it was one of the usual calls. He said, my name is this. I'm calling to congratulate you. In fact, it was really touching because, you see, we knew that some people in his campaign team has taken us to, in fact, took us to cleaners. And for that matter, I was shocked to receive a call from him, and that shows leadership. And Charles, I must appreciate that what you did really touched me, and my doors are open. Come, let's team up, let's join forces, let's share ideas, and let's move the GGA to another level.
I'm glad that we are having this conversation and that's why when you were going that way, I knew that this call was going to happen. So I was just waiting for you to bring.
You ambushed me. You ambushed me.
So we just brought Mausi on so that we can, create the picture of togetherness that we all need as journalists going forward. Charles, Albert has just issued an invitation to you to bring your ideas on board to help better the lives of journalists in Ghana.
Give me that invitation. And it's refreshing that he has reiterated it this morning. The issue is that we are all fighting for the welfare and the good for our association. So I'm ready to work with Albert and his team. My intention is that once they are settled and they are sworn in, I will visit the team and we can have initial discussion. So I can promise colleague journalists and everybody that I'm ready to work with the team.
Thank you for this moment of refreshing conversation that you've added to this segment, and we appreciate you so much. Mausi, congratulations to you for even contending up until this point, and for your team for the hard work that they put in. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, so your opponents, like any campaign, certain things may happen that nobody agrees with, and certain criticisms may have been peddled your way that you perhaps did not appreciate. But in that whole, environment, was there any lesson that you learned of the criticisms that had been leveled against the campaign that you run and the presidency that you have run?
The lessons I learned is betrayal. You see, we have people.
Who betrayed who?
No, I mean, you see, in politics, you see, what is the role of the media? Our constitutional role is to ensure good governance and accountability, and to deepen democracy. And we ourselves, like I said, this is the beauty of democracy, calling a contender live on air and retreating what we discuss on phone should tell you that, for me, I have an open heart. At the end of the day, the GJA we took some 3 years ago is not our bona fide property. It's not our personal property. Some people had led it, and we came to continue. And for that matter, anybody who has the interest and the welfare of journalists at heart, who has any good intentions for the media, is welcoming, because it is for the good cause. It is only for a good cause that democracy must thrive. And so as media, we must help to deepen democracy. But one of the things that journalists or media do not do is that we don't feed on lies. We don't feed on allegations. We don't feed on unfounded, or maybe, you see, the info is that when you destroy image, building it back is problematic.
You think your image has been destroyed or tarnished in this campaign?
Of course, so many. But then we are speaking to our legal team, because you see, we cannot sit here and say that we will, after the election is over, so we can let some wild allegations unfounded, and people were feeding on it. And for me, I think that I have an image, I have a future.
And I want to ask again, which of, we've read a lot, we heard a lot, because we are Florida.
Yes.
We also hear much of the information that is peddling. Which one do you find most offensive? So I've heard abuse of power, I've heard, blackmail, I've heard politicization of the association, and a number of things. So which of them?
First of all, everybody will tell you, everyone following the GJ progress will tell you that Dwumfour has been a very objective and non-aligned leader. If there's somebody who has really stood the test of time in terms of, you cannot attribute or align Dwumfour with any political party in this country. I stood firm before President Akufo-Addo during the Galamsey time, told him the truth, and told him that he has failed. He has 3 months to redeem himself. If really he wants to leave a legacy, which he has said that he will put his presidency on the line, I said it. I stood, and everybody saw it. It saw the reactions and all that. We stood, and on the same platform, I was able to let him know that as journalists, we are the watchdogs of the people's right. And so, if protesters they want to exercise their displeasure in demonstrating in demonstrating, which is their civic right, and they are arrested just because they were excesses, which we condemn. It's also, we saw it to be extreme. We said this. Now, under President Mahama, one of us, you are a journalist, a member in good standing. You should understand the plight and challenges of journalists better. And so if we are, in fact, the average, let me bring Ghanaians to speed. That look, the data we have indicate that the yearly attack, in fact, averagely, the data we have, that every year, the number of attacks every year stands at 12. So we have 12 as the average number of attack yearly. And if in first 50 days or in less than 50 days, we've recorded 6 happening in the first week of February, we found it unprecedented. We're in this country, unprecedented. And we told our member, President Muma, and said, you have to set up. And today, from that time to today, the only atomy we have kept quiet, we have kept mute. So we have been very objective. We have been true to power, regardless of who is there. And so, if somebody says politicization, what is the meaning of that?
Perhaps because of your perceived links with the Tobinco group.
But what my perceived Tobinco is my brother. It's not about perceived link. Can't I have a family? How can my relationship with my brother be a problem? Like I said, which political party did he say I belong to?
You tell me.
No, but you are saying it. I mean,
I mentioned Tobinco. I didn't mention the
no. I mean, you said that.
Not a political.
No, but I said politicization.
I asked about politicization of the association because it's one of the things that was said during the
so which political party
campaign.
did he say I politicize?
So it does not necessarily, politicization does not have to be a political party. It can be divisions and factionisms within the organization as well.
But then if you listen to them well, as if you're listening to them, their politicization, they were trying to lie me to a political party. And I've told you that, assuming, without admitting that I am an MPP, and I belong to the MPP, which lawyer committed MPP fanatic or member or Cadbury member will stand before MPP government, the president of the land, and speak true to him in a way that was so embarrassing that people felt that I even embarrassed him.
Assuming without admitting, you would have been doing your job because you are GJ president.
That is what I'm saying.
And so even if you were, assuming without admitting that you were NPP, you were doing your job.
If the GJ president was doing this job and did that, it means that he did not politicize the GJ.
Do you admit that there were divisions?
We've been able to bring everyone on board. In fact, right after we've been declared, after the inauguration at the Accra International Conference Center on 30th June 2022, I started reaching out to all my opponents, started reaching out to them. Some of them gave me the assurance. He was with my opponent. He campaigned, that was 2022, campaigned fiercely against me and all that. Today, he was the one leading, championing my campaign on social media.
Okay.
People like Gordon Avenogwame, so rest in peace, who was a lead member of my opponent team, was part of the success story of Dwumfour's first administration, who chaired the 75th anniversary committee. People like what is the name? Ken Ashigbe. Everybody know Ken Ashigbe even petitioned the NMC against my candidature that I'm not supposed to be a president because they say there is an injunction, court injunction on me. Today, Ken Ashigbe was the first to endorse me. Somebody like Sami Dowuno, formerly of multimedia, who had really campaigned fiercely against me on social media, today was the one leading the charge on social media. So what are they talking about? Dwumfour brought unity, brought everybody on board. The deception of those who have their own perceived, people who are, should I say, glued, you understand, and who think that the GJA must belongs to one person or GJA is theirs, and for that matter, we if it has left their hands, we won't be part of it. And after 3 years, these people just resurface. They went to sit on the fence. Just after 3 years, after Dwumfour has made the GJA attractive and appealing and visible, they came back, trying to do what?
Let's talk about Atke saying has the highest number of GJA members in good standing. When you go to the regions, and why does it appear that the GJA elections are limited to GBC, GNA, the Graphic Group, and New Times Corporation?
So I think that when we took over, we were there was a huge gap wide between the private media and the state media. This is because in the state media, one of the things that I got to know, having been part of the GJ, was that because state media, once you are employed as a journalist or maybe as a media practitioner to work in a newsroom or whatever, automatically they onboard you, enroll you, almost every member or every journalist in the state media, automatic member of the GJ. And then that of the in the private media is not like that. It's individual choice. It's a voluntary association, and so you decide to join. And even having joined, you have to also fulfill your constitutional mandate by paying dues. Dues is the constitution, is in the constitution, the 2004 GJ constitution. That's one of the mandate, like one responsibility of a member. Yes, one of the responsibilities of a member to pay dues. And so, but then, so you can be a member, and without fulfilling this responsibility, will not make you or not put you in good standing. And so, we came and we said, look, and become a member. Every member must go through, the constitution says that a membership vetting committee, you should be vetted. So if you are EPC and you are not ready, you are not a member and you are a new person, even if they deduct your dues or even if your dues are paid, it doesn't make you a member. You have to be vetted. Ensure that you meet the constitutional requirement.
Has that vetting process?
In the past 3 years, we did not embark on any membership drive, but we voluntarily received over 600 new applications. Over 600 new applications in 6 years, so averaging 200 every year, without embarking on going on any membership drive. And that should tell you the attractiveness and how appealing it has become. Out of this over 600, we were able to approve over 300. Out of this over 300, about almost 200 to 250 come from the private media. We have bridged the gap between the state and the private media. Now the numbers are shot up. Now if the state media, the numbers stand at 60%, private has about 40%. When we took over, private and the state was about 9 things. One way you realize that the GJA has become so attractive is even the voter turnout in the recent elections. For the first time, we recorded over 80% voter turnout, something that has not happened before. People do not, when it comes to the media, things that concerns us, things that bothers us, we don't show much interest. For the first time, 80%, over 80%, even national elections, we have not even recorded, the whole Ghana national elections, we have not recorded 80% before. So that's we tell, again, still under Dwumfour, due to attractiveness, today, we had over 49 members in good standing competing for 11 regional positions. Something that has not happened before. 11 regional positions, 49. In the past, we take the pain to go around, beg people to pick a nomination. Like let's assume that I see some leadership, you exhibit some kind of character and I feel that, you can be a good treasurer. You can support the team. I'll come to you and beg you, pick the form. We went to people, and I'm a beneficiary of that. Becoming the National Organizing Secretary, I was told when they brought the form to me that, hey, we want you to come join the team, we want you to go for National Organizing Secretary. That was in 2016. So I want you to know that. But today, 49 in the regions, there was a time where people do not even contest for any of the positions. That after elections, we have to put together what we call an interim executive. In the worst case scenario, somebody will file for only the chairperson. chairperson position, all other positions which people do not even show much interest, like treasurer, position like public affairs. Today we are 13. We are 13 members in Gusta vying for 6 national positions. This should tell you how attractive, how appealing Dwumfour has done it, and so it has become so attractive, so visible, so that everybody wants to align.
Let's talk about your vision for this second term. It's quickly becoming known as the legacy term because the president also said his second term is his legacy term. That is President Mahama. Is this your legacy term, and what will be the perhaps top 3 priorities for you before you leave office to leave as a legacy?
We started working on the conditions of service for journalists. We know an enhanced conditions of service for journalists is what we all expect. And in my second term, I've made a commitment to the people, having campaigned throughout the country, taught the whole 16 regions of this, should I say, nation. I have told them one thing that I want to accomplish before bowing out is finalize better working conditions of journalists. Preparatory work has been done, and this is something that I'm going to ensure.
Especially in the private media, remuneration
and all that.
Very, very
poor. We realized that
the state institutions don't have it any easier, but private media
has. Retooling of the state institutions, like GBC, Daily Graphic Communications, Times, New Times, GNA, and all that retooling, and also negotiating for a better remunerations and all that, wages and all that. Like I said, this started long ago, and so I even presented a paper to the president, and also had a conversation with the minister in charge of government communication. So that is something that we're going to do for the private media. One of the things is to work to make sure that we reduce cost of production. Once we're able to reduce cost of production and be able to enhance revenue, they'll be able to pay salaries, very good salary to the way. Insurance package for all journalists to improve welfare support system. We want to ensure. In fact, I've received about 3 proposals from 3 mutual companies, which we are assessing. We have tried. We are really still engaging because we want the best for journalists. What we want to do is that we want to institute an insurance package for journalists, which will offer journalists the opportunity to at least visit one partner medical facility, very well-resourced and equipped medical facility once a year. One of the things we have observed is our health. Most journalists, due to our low remunerations and due to financial issues, fails to even visit the hospital to even do what they call annual medical review or checkup. And so when you look at the either blood pressure, you understand, what is the name, diabetes, cardiac arrest, and hypertension and all that. And these are things, once you are able to discover, once you are able to, you do proper or maybe periodic medical checkup or review, it may come out and you may be able to treat it. This will offer journalists, every journalist, which is linked to the database of the secretariat and the website. So everywhere, once we sign on with your membership card, we can access.
The last key priority area.
Last key priority, regional reorganization.
Because the regions do feel very disconnected, especially from the national executive in previous times.
Not under Dwumfour.
Okay.
Under Dwumfour, the regions are more connected. For the first time, you've seen regions that have not even ordered an award, that have not even organized any activity now involving. Let me tell you, in the northern, these were regions which were really abandoned in the past. Today, we have the northern region normally organizing 3 consecutive awards under President Dwumfour. And a number of this way, I have created a common award support system where we cushion the region from the national. So we've been able to organize 13 in terms of regional, all the numbers of members in Gusta, 30 by the organized award. Today, they are about 43. Go to Upper West. Upper West, for the first time in the history of GJA, has not held or organized any activity. The first time they've been able to hold an award, they held an award and also organized a local training for local journalists. Come to the Ashanti region, 3 consecutive awards.
So beyond awards, what would you want to leave the GJA with?
So
the awards have been in place for a very long time.
No.
And for a long time, that's all people knew about the GJA.
Regional.
National.
Yes, so for the region, it's new.
Okay.
For the region, it's something they embrace because they are now having a feel of what is happening at the national level.
Okay.
Now, the regional reorganization, what we are going to do is that we are now going to go down to the region, down to the local stations, including even community radio stations and all that, and to ensure that we build the capacity of journalists, organize what we called capacity building training workshop for local journalists, which includes the community. Because what we do is that usually national, we organize the training, give slots to the regions. You have the regional executive always appointing or choosing their favorite. We are going down. And also
I understand that
activate flow. When I was going around, I realized that there were so many good things we did at the national level that members didn't know. So we are going to activate the chapters to enhance information flow. Are you getting me?
I get
and
you.
And making sure that the regions also get at least their working work offices to work for. Most of the regions do not have offices.
Mr. President,
so
thank you.
Thank you
so much for the time you spent with us today. Albert Kwabena Dwumfour is GJA president. He will be in charge for another 3 years, manning the affairs of journalists across the country in that association. So look forward to more from him and his team at the GJA. When there is the need, he'll come back to share some more details to us. Quick one, 20 seconds.
So, my dear, thank you so much. Colleagues or the public, permits me to say a very big thank you to the Inky fraternity, especially venerable members of the GJA. Thank you for the confidence shown in me once again, and I can assure you that under the second term, we are taking GJA to another level. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the president of the GJA wrapping up this segment for us. We'll take a quick break. When we return, Valerie will sit down with her guest. Stay with us.
President Shehu Shagari of Nigeria has ordered for the deportation of undocumented migrants.
Most of the people to be affected are West Africans, our brothers and sisters, especially from Ghana.
Have you so soon forgotten about 1969? When they got rid of us like rats from their country.
Migrants are human beings. How about that?
Where are you coming from?
Nationality!
Oh, Ghana.
Omo Ghana.
Calm down.
My brother.
Who are your brothers?
The idea that national boundaries should be borders have to be done away with. Instead, we have to think of them as bridges.
We have to humanize migrants.
We have relatives, we have friends who are migrants, and we ourselves might in future be migrants as well.
All of the money, Madinina.
body, and I go